it does seem like against Dricus and I think against Costa, he just seems to not put enough pop in some of his shots, and then the pressure and the octagon control eventually had the fight get taken away from him. So I think it's likely that happens in this fight too, but it'll be a good fight.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be an incredible fight. Costa, he has been in some absolute just bell ringer of a fight. I tend to agree in regards to Sean Strickland. Like, yes, technically, defensively especially, you know, he's got that kind of Philly shell shoulder roll, which you haven't really seen in MMA because the gloves are so small. But offensively, because he kind of always is in a position to defend well, his offense isn't that... look, obviously, if you're in the ring with him and you're getting smothered by the shots, in round 4 or 5, you're going to start to feel it. But I'm actually going to pick Costa in this fight. I just think that the power from Costa, if Sean Strickland stays in that range or that boxing range, I think Costa is just going to land one. And I think that Sean Strickland, even though, you know, the last loss that he had, you could argue he actually won. There's something about the fact that his power and his punches at this top tier level isn't as big as some of the other guys. Now, you know, ironically, he did drop Izzy, which was an incredible feat by him. So if it gets done early, I think it gets done early by Costa. If he does end up, if Strickland ends up finishing Costa, yes, it may be technical knockout, but I actually think it'll be more Costa fatiguing, and that's why he gets finished, rather than just this incredible shot that would have dropped him, whether it was round 1 or round 3.
Sean Strickland's cardio was a great point you make there, Kempy. But Paulo Costa looked fantastic in that recent fight against Rob Whittaker, though, didn't he?
I don't know if I've ever seen Paulo Costa as the person who's fatiguing and on the back foot. I mean, obviously Izzy beat him up, but every fight he's had, like Yoel Romero, like Robert Whittaker, like everybody he's fought, he's been the guy going forward, and even the Luke Rockhold fight, they were both so tired, but he's still going forward, he's still putting on the pressure. I just think that's a massive factor in this fight.
Yeah, well, this clash is not only a meeting of two strikers, but also a clash of personalities. And as we take a look at our Musashi top 5, I did want to ask, first of all, to you, Steve, who your favourite UFC characters of all time might be.
I mean, Conor McGregor's obviously definitely up there, like he's so influential in the sport, but probably one that people might not remember is Don Frye. Like, he was like a real man's man. He used to walk out with the flag on the flagpole. Like, he was definitely one of my favourite guys to watch. And yeah, one of his fights in Pride, he had the Japanese on the collar tie and they're just hitting each other until one of them got too tired to continue. So yeah, he's one of my favourites for sure.
Oh, Don. What about you?
Mate, one of my guilty pleasures is Chael Sonnen. You know, when he was actually fighting, I wasn't actually that big of a fan. But after fighting, like, it's almost like he knows he's taking the piss with some of these things he says, but it's part of the whole joke between him and his audience with obviously his podcast. So Chael Sonnen for me is definitely up there. And Bisping. I think Bisping, I love Bisping. I know he's a pommie, but there is a lot of similarities in the humour that he has, and he's, you know, the straightforward talk. And also, like, when he ended up winning the title, that was an incredible story. Like, going into that fight, you thought skill set wise, age wise, you know, funnily enough, a guy also that didn't necessarily have the most power but ended up getting the job done. You know, so Bisping, I always loved him, especially when he used to walk out. He looked like one of those hooligans at a football match. Absolutely loved Bisping.
And Chael's one of my favourites as well. He really brought that pro wrestling talk to MMA, and I just feel like, you know, as, you know, somebody who is a fighter, who is first and foremost an athlete, to be able to talk as well as he does, and also to be funny, as funny as he is, I think was remarkable.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. I mean, there's an argument to be made that he was Conor McGregor before Conor McGregor.
Yes.
You know, we hadn't really seen a guy that, you know, was an incredibly top-tier fighter, but also he would speak like he was a movie star. He would speak like he's as you said, selling a WWE fight, or, you know, so... Yeah, Chael Sonnen is incredible, and I just think he's gotten even better after, because his career was so, like, he never really reached the tippity top.
Yes.
You know, his fans always talk about how he was undefeated. He's never lost.
Never lost a round.
You know, there's always this rhetoric around, like, he was actually, you know, he didn't get knocked out. He was he was just playing some kind of role to, I don't know. So yeah, Chael Sonnen for me is just great. Another guy, Anderson Silva as well. I really liked him. I know he kind of expressed himself more in the ring as a character rather than Talking, don't get me wrong, he had some funny stuff out of it. But in the ring, like watching him, he's the first bloke that I watched and said, that is mixed martial arts. Like that is the melding of this incredible sport that we're watching where it's fluid, it's almost like a dance. Like there's a beauty in the savagery that he would bring in the ring. So Anderson Silva was another one for me.